Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the half-time stream. It is Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 0. But within 45 minutes of the football coming back, we have a very, very controversial goal line technology decision to talk about. It did appear to the naked eye that Nyland, the Villa goalkeeper, kind of carried the ball into the back of his own net, but Michael Oliver's watch didn't go off and give the goal. They've showed a few replays on Sky, and there is one shot from behind the goal where Nyland comes down, he hits the post, then he steps back and the ball appears to kind of roll along the side of the net for a fraction of a second, and then he puts it back onto the post. Now, I can understand the goal line technology not going off if the ball's kind of in contact with the back of the post and like 1 millimeter of it's touching the net. But it did seem to look like, as he leans into the net, that the ball does go over the line. So joy of all joys, we got a lovely controversy to talk about here. Kevin says, how is that not given? Lyndon says, we've been robbed once again. The Dan Mob, has the ball been placed against the post, confused the system? Possibly that is the case, but it looked like it was behind the line before it goes. James says, did somebody forget to turn the VAR on? Fozzie says, how has that not gone in? Sky normally have an underline camera. I wonder if we'll get the Hawkeye view down at halftime in the coverage over the goal line, because it looks like Sheffield United have been denied a pretty legitimate goal there. Scott says, here we go, one match and technology is already the talking point. Yes, it is. Get your thoughts in on the halftime state of this. Obviously, the comments are now going to be dominated by that goal that kind of looked like it should have been a goal. I'd like to have another look at it. Look, if we were in the ground, we would have no clue, would we? But we've got a zillion angles on Sky, and they look fairly conclusive. And I've got a lot of smart football fans here in the comments telling me that it's over the line. So Sheffield United look a little bit hard done to there. Look, let's just go through the first half and then we'll get into some more comments on that. Let's quickly, Rob says, thought they had a digital visualization. Surely we will see the digital visualization at some point, unless it's too embarrassing for the Premier League and the visualization shows the ball going over the line and they don't want to show us that. Stranger things have happened. Right, first of all, get your comments on this. The game kicks off and all the players, all the staff and the referee all take the knee for 8 seconds during the game. So no kick it out for racism t-shirt before the game. This actually happens during the game. So big statement. I don't want to get into the whys and wherefores and ifs and buts. Let me know what you think. Are we going to see that in other games? Is every team now and every member of staff going to do this? Do you agree that the message is, we all agree the message is important? Should it be happening in the game, given they've got the names on the back of their shirts and Sky have got Black Lives Matter on the top as well? So very, very interesting start. We got it wrong. Infogol got it wrong in the pre-match stream. Yes, Jack Robinson was at centre-half and Stevens, Infogol had them the other way round in 4 minutes. So Grealish into Davis. Davis looked fairly busy and bustling up the top there. Good turn. Hits that across the box. Robinson did well twice in this half. On the cover, he's the left centre back, but when you spare, you got to get in and runners across him, and he made the clearance well. Out for the corner, and another decent chance. Given it's Hurahan, I know the name of the player and the reputation of the player doesn't affect the XG, but that's a good chance on his left foot on the angle on the half volley, goes across Henderson. Henderson gets his angles right and pushes that one away from goal. Decent save on 10 minutes. I had this down as a big chance. The commentators didn't make too much of it. Keenan Davis heads over from pretty much underneath the crossbar. Grealish, it's a really well worked corner actually, because two go near post. Hawes goes on his own to the back post. Grealish kind of feints that he's going to put the corner, swing it in, but then he hangs it up in the air. Hawes on the far post heads it back across goal. Davis comes in. I think if he lets this hit him on the head, it just drops down into the goal. But he tries to, maybe he's trying to outmuscle Sander Berg, and he heads it over. I think it hits him on the head, it drops into the net. So I've got that down as a big chance. In for goal, maybe they do. They've got quite high on the XG there for Villa. Moving into the 15th minute, Villa having the possession. We said this in the pre-match. Blades are comfortable without the ball, aren't they? They're okay to sit. Sheffield United can go 20 minutes without the ball and defend absolutely fine. They've shown that over a couple of seasons now. And we know that Villa build up slowly under Dean Smith and play fairly slow possession-based football. So 62% Villa on 58 minutes to be expected. But if you're classing the Davis header as a big chance, then not too much in it other than that. Grealish free kick from the right on 16. McGinn near post gets the header on it, but regulation stuff for Henderson. 23 water breaks. We get water breaks in games now. This is post-COVID football here. El Ghazi goes down in the box. Bit of a half-hearted penalty shout here. The ball seems to go away from him, and then the two players hit legs. That's not a foul. Everyone seems to think that any contact is a foul, but if the ball has gone and there's just a collision of legs, obviously El Ghazi goes down because that's what players do in the box. But fairly certain that that wasn't a penalty. Just seeing a replay. They've got a freeze frame here of Nyland. Yeah, he's well over the line, isn't he? I'll be interested to see what the Sky pundits are saying about that. He looked well over on that replay. Douglas Luiz takes a yellow tactical foul on McBurney, stopping the counter attack there on halfway. Straight after that, penalty appeal, half penalty appeal for El Ghazi. It's nice and even on 33. No big chances. Davis has had some problems for Basham when he moves into that left channel, but in the main it was a couple of basic Mick McCarthy type boots into the channel from Tyrone Mings. That's where he obviously learned that at Ipswich. So not too much trouble for Sheffield United other than set plays and quick direct balls. In 30 to 40, Norwood did start to find some pockets a little bit higher up. Normally he playmakes from further back, but good to see him getting forward. Remember, if Norwood gets in that half position, that crossing position, Sheffield United have scored a lot of goals under Chris Wilder for there. So look at him trying to find the pockets, particularly on the right-hand side with the out-swinging cross. Norwood, he's a master from there. The issue here, in the big moments, the big players weren't involved. Grealish and Sharp. Did Grealish get one-on-one in the 10 position? No, not really. Did Sharp get any space in the box? No. It's even. I think the question we start asking in the second half now, who makes the first mistake? This game could end 1-0 depending on someone not concentrating from a corner or letting a long ball bounce or something like that. The statistics tell us that will be Aston Villa more likely than Sheffield United on the goals against. Hourihane out swinging corner. Hawes makes the run. Takes his eye off the ball there. Hits him in the chest. If he's got his eye on that and he directs that pacey corner from Hourihane out swinging with the left foot, that is a decent chance, I think. Lundstrom yellow for standing on a free kick. And then we get to the 41st minute. It's Norwood's free kick in. We've already mentioned it. The big moment of the game. Nyland makes a right mess of that. We questioned him at the start of the game. I saw him do exactly the same in a game at Portman Road against Ipswich when Steve Bruce was the manager of Villa. Big mistake, dropping the ball from across. I assume that the Blades wing-backs and marauding centre-backs will be told, make your crosses earlier now. He's not going to be confident. Hang it up, go for high crosses to the far post, get McBurney in, get the supporting player from the far side and test out Nyland. Let's have a look at some of the comments here. Ian says, Sky saying Villa got away with that technology. Failed. What was that someone saying about the... Kieran says, surely the fair thing to do is let Sheffield United have a free goal. Yep, that's not going to happen. They'll. Big Badger says Bielsa would allow a goal, 100%. There we go. Tom, here we go. Hawkeye have been asked for comment but not replied, according to the pundits. We said if there's a Hawkeye that proves that was over the line and Michael Oliver's watch didn't beep, this is not Michael Oliver's fault, by the way. If there's a Hawkeye there and it didn't beep, they are not going to show that, because that just puts a spanner in the VAR works completely. Aaron says, why aren't they giving the Hawk view? I agree. There we go. Sky pundits prefer your punditry. Haha, there we go. Scott, as they're saying on Sky, why didn't VAR intervene? I don't know. Is there a small print? Is that clear and obvious? Is it up to the watch? Remember, we have these weird rules in football where if someone's made a judgment on it, then nobody else can. We have that with referees, don't they? Oh, if the referees produce a yellow card, then we can't review it retrospectively. Maybe it's like that. I don't know the small print. Maybe the watch has dealt with it, and that is enough. Philip says, chip in the ball and VAR, and they still get it wrong. Kieran says, surely the Aston Villa player should admit it was a goal, like how Leeds gave them a free go. Leeds still smarting that one. Right, guys, what do you think is going to happen in the second half? My narrative here, it's going to be a tight one, I think. It's going to be first mistake, I think, isn't it? So Mike says, what is the linesman doing? Remember, Mike, again, I'm going to stand up for the officials here. This is not the officials' fault. They're told, you've now got technology. For a goal line, refer to the technology, don't get involved. And we know linesmen have no power at all, don't we? So, yeah, I don't blame any of the officials for that. That is down to the technology. Scott, another one says, will Villa allow Sheffield United to walk the ball in like they did against Leeds? That is absolutely not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. Remember, the difference with the Matt Klitsch scoring for Leeds is the ball went in the goal and it had to rule a goal out. So it's not going to happen. Big Badger agrees with me. Yeah, in fairness to the linesman, he, like the ref, expects the technology to get it right. Let's clear this. This is nothing to do with Michael Oliver, the referee, or the linesman. It's not their fault at all. If you're told, if I'm driving my car and the speedo tells me the speed, I trust the speedo. The policeman can't say, you should know the speed. The technology should do it for me. Weird analogy, probably wrong, but there we go. Aaron says, Blaze fan, we missed presence on the left with no left foot centre midfield. He's talking about Fleck there. Will we see illustrious Ipswich alumni David McGoldrick in the second half? Will they try and go a bit more into feet? Obviously, McBurney can play the channel. Maybe we'll see McGoldrick around 65 to 75. There we go. Tom says, great analogy. I was, when you start an analogy, I was questioning it halfway through. Rod, day one of restart and VAR effed up already. I think a lot of people feeling that. Just to put Aaron's comment back up, suggesting Robinson unable to get forward in the same way that Jack O'Connor. Remember, Jack O'Connor and Chris Basham, exceptional at getting forward. And also, we talk about balance so much on the channel. And do you lose balance if you've got one that will go and the other that won't? Does that kind of mess things up? Right. Let me know what you think. Hopefully this stream is right. Guys, if you want to get involved in the streams, there are 3 lined up. I'm seeing some images here of Michael Oliver. Poor guy, probably looks like he's being told that the ball went in. I feel badly for him. It is, if you're going to tweet about this, do not blame Michael Oliver. Quickly, James says the crowd sound is pretty good. There was one humorous moment where the ball went into the box and they threw up some big cheer and it went absolutely nowhere near the goal. James says VAR is self-isolating. I think it is as well. Aaron, 1-0 win to the Blaze. Look, if it goes with the narrative I've said, that the team with the lesser defence is going to make the mistake. Also, who's got the more attacking options on the bench? Probably Sheffield United. So that could play in Blade's favour. Some people said we'll get a tight 0-0 draw, and they could be right. Right, we are on the turbo break now before the second half is going to kick off. I'm now seeing the players coming back out. I will see you all at full time for the match review. Let's just put something positive up there. Did I miss it? I think I did. Good job on the players for taking the knee. And knee down perfectly. Who cares? Football's back. I'm seeing Chris Wilder with his Chris Wilder saw the camera and turned his back brilliantly. He's having a word with Michael Oliver. They all know now. This will happen with the technology. Everyone in that stadium will now know that the ball went in. I wonder, will that affect anything in the second half? You can imagine it would have been a lot worse with 3,000 blades sat in that Doug Ellis stand. Grealish is now coming out. We're watching yet another replay. I think we're all agreed unanimously that Sheffield United should be 1-0 up in this game. Right, I'll see you at full time. There should only be one scheduled stream left on my YouTube channel. Come and give us a shout at half time. Hopefully we won't be talking about goal line technology. We'll be talking about some actual goals. Thank you for watching. See you at full time.